Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here to present you my NBA morning shoot around for Tuesday, November 12th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure and click the subscribe button below. This way you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. And if you haven't come and checked out our website here at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We have all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, daily Fanduel and Draftkings cash lineups. Hey, we're truly a one-stop shop for all your DFS needs. So make sure to come check out the site here at dfscheatsheet.com. So we got a solid 8-game slate. There's a couple fun games on this docket. A lot of money to be made out there today. So I'm ready to jump in this video real quick before we do. If you guys don't mind, please take a quick second. Click the like button down below. Helps me out. I really appreciate that from you guys. And let's go. So we'll start at point guard, work our way through. I'll start with Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving. I'll group them up. I definitely think that you can look at both of them. Lillard has the better matchup, and the Portland Trailblazers are struggling right now, so they need Lillard to definitely come through with the big-time game, get them out of this losing streak, this little mini losing streak that they're in. So Lillard definitely a guy that you can really look at if you want to pay up at point guard. Kyrie Irving, you can look at him as well. Definitely in play. It is a little bit tougher matchup against a Utah team who's a pretty good defensive team. But Kyrie's the whole team out there for Brooklyn. Their second best player in Karis LeVert is out as well, so they're going to need Kyrie to carry even more of a load. So you could really consider Kyrie, Lillard as well if you want to pay up at point guard. Moving down a little bit, 8,700. I think we could look at Malcolm Brogdon as well. Playing 30-plus minutes a game, averaging almost 9 assists, 5 rebounds, 21 actual scoring points for 42 fantasy points, giving us a really solid floor. He's also showing us some upside already. Jeremy Lamb is out. So they're going to need Brogdon to continue to score the ball. He gets a good little spot here going against OKC. He's going to be matched up against Chris Paul. Chris Paul a little bit older though. I will say that. I think this is a good spot for Malcolm Brogdon, 8,700. I think he's a really, really fair play today. Then we'll move down. We got to wait and see what happens with Ben Simmons. He is listed as questionable with the shoulder injury. If he's out, you can possibly look at, his backup, Raul Nato. But Nato's price tag has jumped up to 5,700, so it isn't a give me price tag. It's not a guy you're really just going to put in there because he's not dirt cheap no more. But you could consider him as a GPP play if Ben Simmons is out. Also, Tobias Harris is being rested for Philadelphia as well. So if Ben Simmons and Harris is out, you got to give the bumps to Josh Richardson, to Tobias Harris. Al Horford is out. Yeah, I'm sorry, not Tobias Harris. Al Horford is out. So you got to give a bump to Josh Richardson, to Tobias Harris, to Joel Embiid if Simmons and Horford, are both going to be out today. Mike Conley at 6,800. I think this is too cheap of a price tag for him. He's really starting to play much better. Back-to-back games of scoring 20-plus points and starting to kind of find his way with this new team. And I think 6,800 is a buy low opportunity. Mike Conley's, his price is going to continue to trend up. And I think this is still a really, really good price right there for him at 6,800. Kendrick Nunn, I think he's a guy we could continue to look at. A little bit more GPP play just because the minutes have kind of been up and down. A couple games he's played 32, 33 minutes. A couple games he's only played 19 to 22 minutes. So it's kind of all over the place. Makes him a little bit more riskier GPP play, but he has shown us upside with a bunch of 30 fantasy point games already on the season. Couple of value guys. This guy's a GPP as well, but you can look at him. Kobe White in a good matchup going against the Knicks. He's played 27, 29 minutes in back-to-back games. Hasn't necessarily jumped off the wall with fantasy production in those two games. But, he has already shown us some upside with a few 30-plus fantasy point games. And on a 4,200 price tag, all we need is about 22 for value. So he's a GPP guy that we can look at on the lower end. And then lastly, a guy I think is going to probably just be a cash game staple. If we find out that Corey Joseph is going to be the starting point guard while De'Aaron Fox is out, and he's going to get, around 30 minutes. He got 28 minutes last game. Then you really got to look at him at a 3,700 price tag, almost bare minimum. So really, really like Corey Joseph. If he's going to be the starter, easy cash game play. Put him in, move on, and feel comfortable about it. Moving on to shooting guard. We'll start at the top. There's a couple guys that we can look at. I think all of these guys are more GPP plays. Jimmy Butler at 9,400. The price tag, it's not a give me price tag. You need about 46, 47 for value. He's averaging 43 on the season, so he could definitely get there. I just wish he was a little bit cheaper, a little bit more in the 8,000s. Then I would like him. GPP play still. You got Devin Booker, who's had a couple of really big games against the Lakers in his career already. 8,800. He has the upside. But it's asking a lot, though. He's averaging 36 fantasy points, so I think that Devin Booker is a GPP play. Donovan Mitchell, 8,400. I think Donovan Mitchell's in a really good matchup going against a Brooklyn team. This should be a up-tempo game for the Jazz. They should get out and run a little bit more. I will mention that the Utah Jazz are on the second end of a back-to-back, but 8,400 for Donovan Mitchell. He's a guy that we can look at and feel pretty comfortable with the kind of floor that he's going to give us. Moving down, I think that we can look at Buddy Hield. We talked about De'Aaron Fox being out. I think Buddy Hield is going to get a couple extra minutes, and they're gonna ask him to do a little bit more ball handling duties. Buddy Hield, 7,000. They're gonna depend on him a little bit. He definitely has the upside, but it's not a give me price tag. He's probably a little bit more of a GPP for me. I mentioned Josh Richardson. If Ben Simmons does end up getting rolled out, he's going to have to run the point guard a little bit more. He already starts a shooting guard. The minutes are there. Last game he really filled up the stat sheet. So I think that Josh Richardson gets a bump if Ben Simmons out. Something we got to watch. Bojan Bogdanovic. I talked about Buddy Hield. I think Buddy Hield does get a little bit of a bump, but I think that Bogdanovic is going to be the guy that's going to get the biggest bump and be the biggest beneficiary with De'Aaron Fox out. He's played 31 and 28 minutes in the past two games. He scored 20 plus or more points in the past two games. I like him. 5,600 is a buy low opportunity on him. You need what? You need about 27 for value, and he can definitely get up there and really crush this price tag. If he gets opportunity at some extended run. That's really where I'm at. I mean, the one more guy I think that we can look at, DeAndre Benbury. I think that he's been getting a little bit extra run with the fact that John Collins is out. When they go small, they go with Benbury. And coming off a game where he played 40 minutes last game. I mean, they really trust this guy. I think no matter what, he's going to play around 25 minutes. Now, the 4,600 price tag, we need about 22, 23 for value. He's averaging that, and he has, a little bit of upside on these price tags. So Benbury's a guy that we could pay down for at the shooting guard spot. Moving on to small forward, LeBron James, 4 triple-doubles in the last 5 games. I mean, it's an easy play if you want to play him against Phoenix. I just don't know if he's a guy that we definitely want to pay up for, but I wouldn't blame you if you do. I mean, it's LeBron James, triple-double galore lately. He's passing the ball very well. That's the biggest thing that's been standing out to me for LeBron. He's looking like a pretty good point guard, man. So LeBron definitely in play at 11.5. Tobias Harris, I talked about the Al Horford. I talked to possibly Ben Simmons being out. Both of those guys out. Really like Al Horford at 7,300. He's a guy that you could really, really consider. I think it's a very fair price tag with those other guys out. Danilo Gallinari. They need this guy to score the ball. They need him to basically be their best scorer. Who else do they really have to score? The other guy that's really been scoring is Shane Gilgeous-Alexander. We see his price tag way up. Gallinari's price tag hasn't really caught up to him. Production hasn't necessarily been off the wall like I expected him to do a little bit better. But at 6,400, he's right there in that sweet spot. You need about 31, 32 for value. He's averaging 29 fantasy points on the season, close to what you need. So he's a guy definitely in play. TJ Warren, no Jeremy Lamb. They need some extra scoring. He scored double digits in 5 straight games with a couple, 26, 33 real-life scoring games. I mean, this guy can score the ball, and he can do that consistently, score in the 20s. We've seen that when he was with the Suns. He was the second-best player to Booker. I like him here at 6,100. It's a very, very good price tag right there in the middle tier. I think that you can also look at him in your cash games as well. Another guy, we talked about Karis LeVert being out. I think Tyron Prince gets a little bit of a bump, gets some extended run with that. Thing about him is the minutes have kind of been all over the place. He played 3 straight games of 33 or more minutes. Past 2 games have only been 21, 16. I mean, I just want to see consistent minutes is what I want to see from him. So it makes him a little bit more GPP play because we don't really know if he's, how much minutes he's going to play. Is he going to play 20? Is he going to play 30, etc.? Moving down, a couple of guys that we can look at in the value tier. Chandler Hutchins, 3,600. Played 23 minutes last game. The minutes are trending up. 3 straight games of going up a little bit, 4 or 5 minutes. If he's going to continue to trend upward minute-wise, you can really look at him. 3,600 price tag, buy low opportunity. All you need is about 18, 19 for value. So you can really look at Hutchinson as a value play. Also, Jakari Sampson, if he's going to get that start or nod, he's played 23 minutes or more in 3 straight games. He had one really good game, 2 kind of games, with the last game kind of being really horrible for Orlando in 23 minutes. But at 3,600 bare minimum price tag, all you need is 18, 19 for value. So I think that he's a guy that we could consider if he's going to be in that starting role. Moving on to power forward, Anthony Davis, game time decision with the shoulder. I expect him to play. Great matchup against the Suns. There's nobody on the Suns that could even contend with Anthony Davis. They don't got no big bodies like that. This is a spot where I definitely think he can really, really exploit. Sabonis has just been absolutely killing it right now. It's like last year they wanted to play him more, but they had Thaddeus Young. They got rid of Thaddeus Young so they could play Sabonis. The guy's playing a ton of minutes, 38, 37 the past 2 games, getting you massive double-doubles, a very, very good passer as well. That's what's been standing out to me is he's, 6, 7 assists a game, which is, really, really good for a big man. I'm giving you a solid floor. I think he's more of a GPP play just because of the price tag, but he's paying off the price tag, and I like him a lot. Bam. Going against Detroit, it's going to be going against Blake Griffin. Blake Griffin likes to send out on the perimeter now and shoot threes. He doesn't bang. I think this is a spot where Bam can have a really good game. I'm not worried about no Blake Griffin defense. And the thing that stands out to me about this guy is he doesn't do just, he scores the ball or he gets rebounds. He does a little bit of everything. He's a pretty good passer for a big man. He's averaging almost double-digit rebounds, double-digit points. He gets you, a bunch of defensive stats every single game. I don't like to really count on defensive stats, but that's what this guy does. He's going to get you 2 or 3 between blocks and steals every game to kind of add that floor that we're looking for. So I think that Bam is a good play. Moving down, 2 more guys I think that we can look at. First, before we go down, I think you can look at Julius Randle. The guy's coming off a really good game against Cleveland. The guy's been playing well. He scored at least 20 points in 3 straight games. Does a little bit of everything, fills up the stat sheet. At this price tag, you need about 36, 37 for value. He is averaging 32 on the season, pretty close, and he has a little bit of upside. GPP play, but I think you could consider him. One value guy, I think that we can look at a power forward spot. I think we can look at Bijalika. The minutes are kind of up and down. That's the thing I don't like. But when he does get some minutes, he does. He has some upside. He does produce a little bit. It's all about minutes with him. We got to see if they adjust their rotation for the Kings with De'Aaron Fox out or what they do. So pay attention to that starting lineup. But if Bijalika is going to get some minutes, we can really look at him as a cheaper tier. Center is a spot where I think we're probably going to end up paying up for today. There's just really no value at the center spot. It's tough. You can look at, Joel Embiid. We already know Horford's out. We know that Ben Simmons possibly going to be out. Both of those guys are out. I love Joel Embiid in this spot going against Cleveland. He'll get a definite bump here. Andre Drummond's second in of a back-to-back. Not the easiest matchup from Miami, but he's been producing massive double-doubles night in and night out. I don't see why we go away from him now. We know the defensive stats he's going to get. I think it is going to hurt him a little bit with Blake Griffin being back. He's not going to, they're not going to bring the ball through him so much, and he's not going to have to get so many rebounds. I think Blake Griffin will get some of those rebounds. But nonetheless, Andre Drummond has just been killing it to start the season. He's definitely in play. Jokic going against Atlanta. Guy has triple-double upside, any night. 9,000, you need 45 for value. I think this is a pretty fair price tag for him. He does have some upside. On this price tag. He just has been inconsistent. That's the biggest thing with Jokic. It's been kind of killing me for playing him this year. But, I think we can really consider him. Whiteside's in play against Sacramento. They don't have a real big man. I think you're going to go Bear against Brooklyn. I like big men against Brooklyn. Both of these guys are in play. That's really where I'm at. For me, at the center position, I think you pay up for somebody. There is no real value there. The only guy, if we find out that a guy I played him a couple times already this year. If we find out a guy like Miles Leonard is going to get some run, then we can look at him. But, the past 2 games, he hasn't got the run. The 3 games before that, he got 24, 25, 27. So if he's going to, sneak in the lineup, I did see something about Kelly Olynyk possibly being a game time decision. Let me look that up for you guys. Yeah, see, so Kelly Olynyk is a game time decision with the knee. He's questionable. If he is out, then I think that we definitely look at a guy like Miles Leonard. I think that he'll get some extended run. So that's really where I'm at, with today's NBA morning shoot around. If you want a more in-depth analysis on today's slate, make sure to check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. And hey, good luck on your guys' contests, all right? Peace out.